All right, yeah, we're back.
I
Yeah,
love you too.
great
Right there,
start. Great
Frank.
start.
Right there. I'm gonna give you a kiss.
There you go with the dolphins in front of your camera. What was the purpose of that dolphin anyway?
It's my stress ball.
Oh, your stress ball.
Your
But it
stress
was a
ball.
dolphin. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
It's from some company. I don't know, and they just like dolphins, I guess. The travel company.
Oh, well, that's good then.
Very stressful
So
in Miami, I tell you.
name is Frank. So I would squeeze him.
Oh, his name is Frank.
Yeah, his
At
name is
third
Frank.
time, Frank agrees with Hector. Goes,
Well, I want to start off with saying Happy Veterans Day to you guys, man.
Yeah, same to you too.
you too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, oh, this one's a little bit different because maybe because I'm in a school setting and like the school that I'm at, they actually do take pride of the veterans and they actually add that to the curriculum. Like, what is a veteran? How did Veterans Day start? And it's pretty cool to like teach the youth what a veteran is,
Hmm.
and then to see and be a part of the VFW and watching others, support us when we honor those the fallen warriors and everything else, and then just to sit down and have a good meal, talk things over and stuff like that, and it's a great atmosphere to pause and think about things that are positive and what it means to live in a country here in the United States. And I know not everything's always positive, but we always try to find a way to make things a positive.
Hmm.
And even if it was that small moment to pause, and I know I reflected a lot in my military career, and I am thankful for you, Frank and Hector, to be a part in my life because you guys made a big difference in me and my career. And we all learn from each other. I know you guys have an agenda to where you had to handle your business. You made your personal reasons to like, hey, I did my time. I'm gonna go do something else, and I stayed back and continue on until I found my path. But never was a time that I ever really, to be honest with you, never was a time that I took advantage. I always kept what I learned from you guys and moved on. You know, I came in '97. I met you, Hector, and we both made fun of John. John is another partner of ours where he lost a pair of nods, the night vision devices up in the desert in NTC, the National Training Center. And every time I go there, even 20 years later, when I visited the same training area, I go call him and be like, hey, yo, guess where I'm at? I'm in No Nods Ridge. I think we finally found one. Then we found it.
Hands across the desert.
And then he starts cursing me out. You can never let it go.
No, because you
Then
let
if I
them
go
go.
there after I retire, be like, yo, hey, I found it on the streets in what's that town called? By
Is it
by
in,
Barstow. Barstow.
So
Is that the pawn shop?
you can't let it go because you let it go.
Ah. But then, like, I fast forward, right? I went to Korea, come back, and then I met Frank. And
Mhm.
then that was another level, man. Frank, we go way back, man. Where there were times then in my life I hit rock bottom, or there was
Yeah.
obstacles, and who was there? Frank was there, he's like, "F this, I don't care, dude. What's up?" And I'm like,
Keep it real.
it's just like we always build an extended family, right?
Mhm.
And no matter where you're at, Frank, you're in Florida. Hector, you're in where are you?
My God.
Exactly. Bunch of wacko people over there, right? No, Waco, Texas. You mean I don't even see the F, I just see the W in the background. Uh,
Hold on, let me go get my longhorn real quick. Bino!
but no matter where we at, we stick together and we are family. And I like that. The thing is that if we could do this, why not the bloodline? Why not them? Why can't the judgment day be in sync? Why does the final testament got to be the way they are? Why is the Y6 got to have revenge of everyone that crossed their paths? There's a lot of unknowns and a lot of whys to this and that. And we always reflect to like us, like we're together, far away, soon we'll be together. And it's that's our lives and we stick together. Why can't they do the same? And we're going to cover all that and much, much more and our purpose, right? Our takeaway and everything we talk about, especially Gunther changing directions. That's what today's episode is all about as we get ready for the road to Survivor Series. Welcome to the HHW Show podcast with Hector V and Frank. Like I said, we'll start off with SmackDown with the Bloodline. Roman Reigns, the OTC. Y'all notice his shirt? He was wearing Yeet.
Yeah.
The Yeet was on his t-shirt and stuff, man.
Yep.
So, like, that right there speaks volume that he is very supportive of Jey Uso. But when they had their matches and stuff, there was a lot of adversity between them two. Who's tagging who's that? And I'm just curious, like, you're in the same team. Why are you establishing that type of behavior in a tag team match?
Well, you got to look back at the history. What was the history of the Bloodline? Roman Reigns being the top guy, barking out orders every single time to Jimmy, to Jay, to Sammy, to whoever was part of the Bloodline, right? So he did that. What happened with the Bloodline eventually? They dismantled, right? Why did Jay leave? You know, Jimmy, we know he ended up getting his ass kicked, and he got kicked out. You know, but with the original Bloodline, Jay said, "No, I'm off on my own." He got tired of the orders. So when you look at the match that they had, Roman Reigns still had that alpha male mentality, which was no, tag me in. And Jay said, no, you're not going to tell me what to do. And that's why they had their frictions there. So when you have that, when you have Jay, it's like, nope, that's not happening. That chemistry is broken. It wasn't there.
So what you're saying is that Roman Reigns lost at WrestleMania, made his comeback, still outnumbered by the Bloodline, he's trying to get his family back in order the way it was. And Jey Uso's already drifted off. He's accomplished everything. He did everything himself. Main event, Jey Uso, the Intercontinental Champion. The fans support him. Everybody's on his back.
Mm-hmm.
But not Roman Reigns. Yeah, Roman Reigns got the OTC chant, but he is not the tribal chief. So Hector, as much, and I know, and listen, it's never the same. When you go away, you left home. What year? 92?
93.
When you joined the service, you left in 92, right?
93.
93, you went off to the army, right? How many times did you visit? Was it the same when you came back home?
No. Nothing's ever the same.
Exactly. Nothing's ever the same. And I use that as a reference. Roman Reigns was the tribal chief. They had all the gold. Little by little, the gold was taken away because somebody else was more hungry to get those, right? And the last man fallen was Roman Reigns. And then he disappeared. Now he comes back. Why would it be the same? I mean, look at Rhea Ripley. She was gone from injury. She come back. She still can't get a crack in winning the Women's World Championship. Here's Roman Reigns. Same type scenario, but he can't do it. And the fact that he got pinned by Solo Sikoa on the Premium Live event at Crown Jewel. What does that tell you?
Well, yeah, you're right. Nothing's going to be the same, but I think he could still be the tribal chief, but in a different way. You
How
know,
so?
because I mean that was something that I've been struggling with myself. Now that Jay, already voiced his opinion about wanting to be an equal, but are you really an equal? You may be blood related, but are you equal? Have you been as successful as Roman Reigns have in your career? Just as a tag team, but not as singles competition. You see, and so I'm thinking, Roman Reigns, he's going to have to find a way of establishing himself as a different type of tribal chief when he gets that Ofala back, because he will get it back, you know. But how can he establish, his rule in a way that he's going to gain respect from his peers, to where it's going to be um, a foundation that's going to be solid enough to where they can all still work together, but as equals instead of as individuals.
All right, I'm gonna tell you this. What do you see? What do you see happening after Survivor Series with the Bloodline? Everybody all together. What do you think is gonna happen after the Survivor Series? The Bloodline will be fill in the blank. Frank, I'll start with you.
United. They're still going to do their own thing, but they're still going to be united. I think it's going to be, yeah. Roman Reigns will obviously be the leader, but maybe now he might be more acceptable to changes, to other people saying other things.
Okay.
I think the bloodline is going to be different. I think we're going to have new faces under Roman's regime, but he's going to take things in a different way, because you have to still have a faction there on SmackDown to counterpart what's going on Raw. We got the Wyatt Six. We got the Final Testament. You got things going. You still got the Judgment Day for now. So, you still need something going on SmackDown, and I think the Bloodline is gonna stay united, but in a different way. And when it's all
Okay.
said and done, when the dust is settled, Roman Reigns will be standing on that mountaintop again.
I'm gonna say no. It's not gonna happen. I don't think because let's put it this way. Jey Uso, and I know it's been repeated already, but Jey Uso confirmed that when he approached Solo Sikoa on SmackDown, he said, "Why did you interact with that part of the family? We don't accept that part of the family. They're another breed. They're wild. They're crazy. They're not about what the family was about." Okay. But Solo Sikoa wasn't trying to hear that. He likes the power. He likes them being followed. And in a sense, I feel like they might overtake Solo Sikoa should they lose. Solo Sikoa is in trouble if they lose Survivor Series WarGames. Okay?
Yeah.
That's little brother. Now, maybe they might get together, but I'm also looking at another view. Roman Reigns is hearing the crowd. Roman Reigns is not dumb. He knows he's been out chanted with the yeet. From the very beginning, Roman Reigns did say that he was going to establish his family, the bloodline, and they're gonna make history together. And they did. He followed through what he said. And here's the thing: a lot of people think he's the bad guy, but look at all these billionaires. Look at all these people. Do you think they had time to rest to get where they're at? They scratched and they did everything they needed to do to become who they are. We all have done the same thing. And if you put yourself in a situation where you have a break or you want to spend more time resting, you're not going to succeed the way a billionaire would do things. Okay. And Roman Reigns established that for the bloodline. But there's going to be a point where he did what he had to do. He has to pass it on to somebody. He has not passed it on to anyone. And I think he is trying to get back to what was his so that way he will give it to Jey Uso. Because from the very beginning, he did say he was the right-hand man. And that one day, when you become tribal chief, you are going to have a wise man. Because remember, Jey Uso had problems with Paul Heyman from the beginning. Roman said, he is my wise man. One day you will have yours. And that's what I feel like at the end of the chapter of the bloodline, Jey Uso would be the tribal chief. That's just my opinion.
Then where does that leave Roman Reigns at the end of the day?
Retired.
Exactly. Exactly. It
So
could
retired,
be. You go off
retired,
to drift off to Hollywood and be an actor, which is one of his goals.
because I think he's
He
still
already
too young to
tasted
be
that
retired.
Hollywood. What if? What if? But then again, that's also going to lead to another thing. Is that The Rock will have to make his presence. And when the plan doesn't go his way, like Soto Sokoa said, there's always a plan for everything. The Rock will come in, and that's where we start after the Civil War, a war between Roman Reigns and The Rock. And it is best fitting. It is best fitting. The question I have for you guys is this. In the War Games, there's 5-on-5. We have a 4-on-4. Who will be for this? This is the funny part. And I wrote this down, and I don't know where my notes went. I really don't.
The part with your NFL notes.
Yeah, that's probably. Oh no! I got it right here. Oh my God, I got it right here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh yes, sir. Here we go. On Raw, Jay, Jimmy, and Sammy. Strike 3, you're out. They try to ask 1, 2, and 3, and nobody buds to be participating in War Games with the Bloodline. Okay, Rey Mysterio in the background. He was nodding off, walking away. That was with Jey Uso. Sami Zayn asked Seth Rollins. Those all people he was brave enough to ask Seth Rollins. He said, hell no. Not only did he say hell no to Sami Zayn, he like, hell nah to Solo Sikoa and punked him down in front of the whole peoples, right? And then you had Jimmy asking Braun Breaker? Are you serious? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Of course, that was interrupted. Braun Breaker, man, he's going to have a match with Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship. But I'm like, damn, how desperate are these people are? They're really bold to go against the top stars to be in their team. So that's a no-go. Who is the guy?
I got my answer.
I have an answer, but Frank, we don't want you to copycat Hector real quick. I'm curious what you want to say. I'll support you.
I'm just gonna throw something crazy out there, and I say Rikishi. Why not? Bring
No.
the guy back for
I'm
once,
not
he's
saying
back.
no. I'm saying like it's funny you say that because he's like to go on social media talking smack.
Right?
But is he ready? I don't think so. He ain't dancing in that cage, bro.
I mean, it is a yeah.
I'm just saying, bro.
You never know. You never
Yeah.
know.
True. But it will be nice to see him to consolidate his boys, especially Solo, the little one, right? I got you. But if Rikishi was to be there, which team would he be on?
With Roman, Jay, Jimmy, and Sammy.
All right. And if he was to come, who will be on the other side?
The Rock.
That's not a fair advantage. So I'm gonna have to disagree.
Of
It
course.
doesn't match with Rikishi though.
It doesn't necessarily have to match.
I think so. There's got to
No.
be a purpose why The Rock has to make his presence. Remember at the end of the what was it?
So then we're looking at Cody Rhodes. You'll be looking at Cody Rhodes and The Rock.
Ding 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 ding. Is it a no-brainer? Probably not. Like I said, the thing is about WWE that I like right now is that when you think that's gonna happen, it doesn't happen. And that's what I like about it. I want that surprise. That in this case, it does make sense to have Cody Rhodes. Look, Cody Rhodes said to Roman, "You got my back. Why don't we turn it around and Roman Reigns go to him?" Remember, each one of them struck out. The only person that didn't reach out is Roman Reigns, and we're saving it for SmackDown. Who does not have an opponent on SmackDown? Cody Rhodes. Go figure. Bring it. Cody Rhodes comes, and all of a sudden, The Rock will show up, and he will take part. It'll be 5-on-5 Survivor Series going on in 2 weeks from Saturday.
It goes back to what I was saying. My point exactly. Cody's just holding that title, and he's not even relevant on SmackDown. Ever since Roman's been back, he's been more relevant without nothing and trying to build himself back up. But yet he's more of the pop on SmackDown than their own heavyweight champion. So, of course, there's nothing for Cody. And he said that he was done with this bloodline thing. No, you're not done until they say it's over with. Okay. Mm-hmm. Cody is stuck in a situation where he is not done with this until they say it is over. He's just holding that belt. That's all he's doing. Nobody can take that big fat Super Bowl ring away from him that he got in Saudi Arabia. But that gold around his waist, yeah, it's fixing to change hands eventually within the year or so. But for now, he's just a second fiddle. He's just a pawn in this. He's just
it could be sooner than that. It could be sooner. It could be something where it might happen before the new year to build that story for WrestleMania. But again, I know it's too early, but my gut is telling me that The Rock could still own that belt for Roman Reigns to win. I do believe that. I do believe that Roman Reigns will become champion. I just don't see him going against Cody Rhodes to get that belt. The Rock will have a lot of play into it. But let's move on to a different belt. Let's talk about the Women's United States Championship, which was announced on SmackDown. And a lot of people in social media are targeting two superstars in the WWE, which I do not agree. One is Kelsey Green. Am I saying that right? Chelsea Green, excuse me. Chelsea Green to win the United States Championship? I don't think so. She got to do more than play that role with whatever role she's playing, that dumb role, right? With no common sense, all right? And the other one is Minchie. I disagree with that too. As a matter of fact, and you guys come up with it, the only superstar deserving to be the first women's United States champion is no other than Bayley. But I could be wrong.
No.
So what is your opinion? If it's not Bayley, do you have another superstar?
No, I'm with Bayley because she's held everything as a woman in the WWE. So why not make her the inaugural champion?
Because Sheamus doesn't have the Intercontinental Championship.
But that he's eventually going to get it. I think that he eventually going to.
Maybe
They'll give it to him. I don't think
Maybe.
he's not going into the Hall of Fame without that title.
May John Cena is.
Well, John Cena is different because he was more of the mainstream with the heavyweight title. Sheamus has been all around chasing mid card titles while
Mm.
winning the main gold at times.
So the reason why I say Bailey is that why did it take after the match going down the road on SmackDown, right? Bailey defeated Candice LeRae. And later down the show, then they made that announcement about the United States Championship title, which that was the only singles match for the females, right? So I'm like, okay, it's got to be Bailey because one, she's the only active superstar dating back all the way from NXT
Mm-hmm.
in her era, right? I'm not gonna give it to. I don't think there's any other superstar deserving more than her. To be honest with you, is it Naomi?
No, I think Bailey's more deserving than Naomi is. But I just have an itchy gut feeling. This is not the end of it. I have a funny feeling they're going to come up with the Intercontinental title for the women.
That's what I thought that was going to happen on Raw, and it didn't.
No, because
Right?
they
But I
said that
did
this
tell
title,
you there were talks about a female. I think it made more sense to get rid of the United States Championship for the woman and just do the Intercontinental Championship because all these superstars are from different countries. It just
yeah,
makes sense. Look at the
right.
main roster. Look
Yeah.
at the roster NXT. How many
Mhm.
of them could claim they're United States? No. You
I know.
got all over Europe,
Yeah, because we had the
all over.
European title at one
Yeah,
point.
exactly. But I mean, I'm getting it. But if you was gonna tell me Charlotte Flair,
No.
that wouldn't surprise me if she just came out and be like, "All right, Charlotte Flair versus Bailey for the U.S. title." That I'll laugh, and then I'll be like, "Oh shit, Charlotte wins."
Well, my thing
That would be
is,
pretty crappy.
Well, she was the first world women's champion, right, for these titles, technically, because they went ahead and got rid of the Divas Championship to
yeah.
create a world championship, right? So
Mhm.
technically, Charlotte was the first one. But I'm with y'all, man. Like I went myself because I said it, but I'm liking Bailey. I'm liking.
Yeah, I just think
Besides Bailey, is there anyone else?
no. I mean, I think the roster is depleted to where we don't really have somebody that can step up to represent that title at this point.
I imagine Alexa Bliss comes back. I would like that. Becky Lynch comes back, but I hear a lot of her retiring. I don't say Bianca Belair.
No, they're not going to make her lose the tag title just to go after that title like that. No, I don't agree with that.
I haven't seen Carmella.
Mm-mm. That's what I'm saying. See, the roster is depleted, man. It's like where are you going to get these? Who you going to come up with? Put them in the tournament? And
Oh, I got one for you. Dakota Kai.
no, she'd probably get to the finals against Bailey. That'd be a little reunion right there.
Oh, I know. Someone's gonna chop their wiener off and become a transvestite and then win the
Oh,
United States Championship.
my God.
No, you did
That's
not.
like the biggest debate about all this about women's sports, about transgenders moving over to the women's side, and people are debating, especially here in the state of Connecticut. I can't make that up. I can't. That's what I had to say. What about Ivy Nile?
No,
No.
no.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I mean, are they even using her right now?
I mean, technically, the Creep Bro, whatever they want to call themselves, um, it can make a big difference. Maybe I don't know.
You got to put
Um,
gold around all their
but
waist in
I
order
feel
to.
like a lot of the female superstars are all stuck in NXT. I really do.
I mean,
Me-
if you want to throw a wild card in there, I would say Lyra Valkyria, whatever. If you want to
yeah.
throw a wild card in there, you know,
Okay.
she's a fan. She's a fan favorite. She was the last one eliminated in that battle royal. You
Yeah.
know, so you know, for the Raw side, because we're talking about Bailey as a heavy favorite. She's on the SmackDown side, so I would say Valkyria on the Raw side. She kind of
I
reminds
would
me a
have
little
said
bit.
Shayna Baszler, but she's too stuck. She's stuck in her ways with that trio.
Yeah,
Um, I forgot what their name is.
yeah, Fusion, Fast and Furious Fusion, whatever. I don't know.
Fast and
I,
Furious.
I don't know. They're very fast and furious. Yeah,
Yeah.
some kind
Yeah.
of fusion.
All right. Well, let's
They
move
got,
on, man.
they got their own
Let's move
problems with
on.
damage control. So
I like that. I really like that. All right. Tiffany Stratton. We got to talk about Tiffany Stratton. Um, yeah, she's trying to chase for a title. When is she's gonna cash it in? I don't know. Um, I thought she had an opportunity. I feel like every time something happens, like she's been going on both shows all of a sudden. So, are you convinced that she's still gonna chase and eliminate Nia Jax, or will she a surprise and take over the Raw? I feel like she might just go over the Raw and take that belt.
I think
I think
she's
it makes sense.
I think she's gonna go against Jax
Okay, for what reason?
because and Raw right now, if she goes with this other girl, she has Hector's girl over there to protect
Who?
her.
Rhea Ripley?
No man, the other one,
no,
Raquel.
okay. I didn't know that was my girl. Okay.
I know I was lost too.
I got a theory. I got a wild theory, and I'm not talking Austin theory.
Go ahead.
We just talked about the United States title. What if she waits for the winner of that tournament to cash in on them to become the new United States champion? And her and Nia can walk around belt with belt next to each other.
Hmm.
I feel like she's gonna be degraded because Nia Jax is gonna be that I'm still better than you. I have the world
Yeah,
champion.
right.
You got
Yeah,
the United States champion. You're
yeah,
still gonna
right.
be second to me, you
Yeah.
know? And then Tiffany's gonna smack her and be like, bitch, I win, and then she gets both titles.
That would be crazy.
That woman, it should be the first, right? But
Well,
the United States,
yes.
she's
When
not
it
too
comes
young.
to when it comes to two belts independently, yes, but not like we have Becky Lynch. No,
Yeah.
I lied. Wasn't Becky Lynch two belt champ?
Yeah, Becky
Yes.
was, yeah.
She had
But
two
as far
world championship belts, right?
yeah,
Yeah, so she wouldn't be the first.
because Seth Rollins had the world title and the United States title when he
Mhm.
beat John Cena.
Yes, Seth Rollins did.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was probably the last person to have two belts with the United States Championship and the world title.
Yeah,
Okay.
United States, yeah, because the Warrior,
Right.
I think, was the first with the heavyweight and the Intercontinental.
Hmm.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. Um, the
Okay.
tag team championship belts: Bianca Belair, Jay Cargill.
I'm tired. I'm bored.
I'm
Yeah, I'm bored. And I thought that maybe Bailey and Naomi would together be tag teams. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. If you saw Raw, you saw Naomi trying to help out the tag team champs. But there's somebody else that surprised me. Her name is Io Sky. The Kabuki
Mhm.
Warriors, like they got beat by Bianca Belair and Jay Cargill, and yet they were in the middle of all four of them middle of the ring, just slapping high fives and everything else, and like they're all one big happy family. I was like, Io Sky, what's going on here?
Mhm.
I don't get it. And I know Io Sky is gonna have a match next week for the world title, but good lord, like what's going on? I'm confused. I'm left speechless.
I just want the titles to be off their waist already. I want Cargill to go at it with Belair already. I want these two to go at it.
Well, Liv Morgan tried to flirt with that situation, but the last time somebody tried to flirt with someone breaking up, it just never happened. I just
So,
I just don't see it. The body
yeah,
language doesn't say that they're going to split up.
but looks could be deceiving because we.
Something has to happen for her to turn. Like we got to see the body language. We got to see the words within both of them.
But aren't we
They
seeing that
supposed
with
to
a
be
lot
splitting
of?
up.
We see a lot of that going on, and nothing's happening yet with anybody.
Well, at
When
least for New Day, it's building up to it.
and the Judgment Day is building up, but I want to see the breakup already.
Yeah, you know what? The the New Day buildup is just taking forever.
Oh, you're gonna turn 50 and they still arguing. New
I
Day's already
know.
arguing. I'm like, dude.
Yo, we've all three of us be in a convalescent home, and they still argue.
I'm like, somebody just pimp slap the other one already and be done with this. I mean, come on.
Oh boy! All right, all right, all right. Hey, let's move
Wyatt
forward.
6 will be the Wyatt 10.
Let's move forward here, and I would like to focus on one guy right here, and it's no other than Gunther.
Frank. Oh, my bad. That was Frank.
What happened to Frank?
I don't know. Then we're gonna focus on him.
Well,
I got it.
Gunther,
I got it.
Damian Priest, and the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther come face to face on Monday Night Raw, and the ring general happens to be silent while Damian Priest was staying out facts about him. And it's right. Ever since Gunther lost to Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel, he has never been the same. He has a different attitude. His boy, Ludwig Kaiser, came to support him, and Gunther stopped him. Now, Kaiser disagreed. And I told you before on the podcast last week and the week before, like, could it be a possibility that Kaiser Ludwig turned his back on Gunther?
Yeah.
I feel like that's still going to be the thing. Now, I ain't doing no research. I'm not listening to any other people on their articles, their blogs, or whatever it is they do in the wrestling on the social media part. I'm just looking at the storyline the way I'm looking at it on TV, like every other fan. And as a fan, I see something different. You had Gunther always slapping the shit out of Ludwig, right? When there were the what's that
Imperium.
called? The Imperium, right? And he's always disciplining him, always doing it because he always failed. But Gunther could do no wrong. I mean, this is the reason why he's been holds the record of the title reign for the Intercontinental Championship. But at Crown Jewel, he lost. Now his morale went down. Even the championship belt around his waist doesn't seem like he is the champion. And I don't think it has anything to do with Damian Priest or anybody else. I think him himself is about to fight his own demons. What do you guys say about that?
Frank?
He's
That's
changing
speechless?
his ways.
Really?
I'm a little
I,
speechless here on Gunther.
I,
I have my mixed emotions with him because at some point you see that he's just being a straight jerk, and then you see like he's changing ways, changing some ways. But is it going to be a full turn or is it going to be a half turn? And that's
Oh, you
where
think like he might become babyface?
I think he might. I think he might. But the toss up.
I don't think it has anything to do with turning babyface or not. I think it's more of like the perception. Like, let's put it this way: how would you feel if this is the area where you are the subject matter expert you're like golden on a certain sport, and then all of a sudden you end up losing. How would you feel?
Sad.
So you're very emotional when it comes to defeat.
Yeah.
But what would you do with that defeat?
You grow from it. You know,
Okay, how though? Like,
you gotta
for
change your ways
Gunther,
on
for
that. You got
example,
you.
you see his body language. His body language. It doesn't seem like he's confident anymore, right? Almost look like he's in a depressed mode. How you get out of that funk?
I see it a different way. I mean, I respect what you're saying, and I understand where you're coming from. I just see it from a different perspective. Um, he was not the better champion at Crown Jewel, so I feel like he was humbled, and now he's starting to see things from a different perspective, to where he doesn't need that advocate or that upstander, or yeah, the upstander in Kaiser who always got to talk for him. Look, I can talk for myself now. And if I'm going to be the champion that I say I'm going to be after losing to another champion, I have to start acting like that. And maybe he learned that by losing to Cody Rhodes and seeing I don't have to be Cody Rhodes, but I could be, somewhat of a model as a champion like he is on SmackDown. I don't need nobody to talk for me. I can do things on my own. I have been doing things on my own. I'm the longest reigning, NXT UK champion, Intercontinental champion, and I don't plan on losing this title anytime soon. Yeah, it's a little disappointing. You're right, because he let down the Raw brand as a champion. So that's a little discouraging. That's a little disappointing. But I still think at the end of the day, I'm still champion, and you're gonna have to respect that until you can strip that title away from me. And I felt like he was trying to be nice with the Damian Priest, because Priest, we already
Mhm,
know he's Puerto Rican, so he's going to run off at the mouth like he did and say
mhm.
all these things. And I don't feel like Gunther wanted to say that. I think Gunther wanted to say something in a praising manner, but he
Right.
just couldn't get it out because Damian was just on the attack mode, which is fair,
Hmm.
But and then of course now Kaiser got to get involved in this, and now I think that just kind of fueled Gunther
I
to the
think
point.
Kaiser himself is going to cause interference, and Gunther is going to lose that title.
If that was to happen, then we can see a feud between these two going on for quite some time.
Yeah, he's going to smack the shit out of him like he normally do. I
Oh
like
boy,
that part.
man, he's gonna literally tear that skin up. Yeah,
That's going to break him out of his shell. Yeah. Um,
heartburn for life. And Jesus.
Listen, you got that going on, okay? And then, listen, this is a domino effect because when you have those storylines like that, you can also look at DIY and SmackDown when you got Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano who are trying to chase the tag team titles, but instead of being aggressive like Tommaso Ciampa, Gargano, on the other hand, knows the machine gun. What's they're called? Machine gun.
No, they're
Motor City.
Motor
Motor
City
City.
Machine Guns.
Yeah.
Motor City Machine Guns, right? And they're first of all, I like that tag team. They're very, very athletic, and Johnny Gargano knows them, but Thomas Ciampa is not having it, and I'm kind of leaning on Ciampa's side, and here's why. He wants to become the champion. He's not there to have friends. He's not there to feel sorry. Look, I want to be a champion. We're supposed to be a team, but you're gonna go with them now. Will they divide like they did before, and Ciampa and Gargano have a war? That could possibly happen, right? And then on Raw, you have the New Day, which Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston seem not to see things eye to eye, right? So it's almost like this is a theme where when you had your friends or you have your brother side by side and you all have difference, you have a lot of differences. How do you overcome all that? And that's what's the beauty about the WWE right now is that relationship within the families are falling apart at every angle, different scenarios. Which family is going to stay together? Who is a stronger bond between one another? And who are going to separate and move on and do whatever it is that they got to do? Crazy how everything's turned to within family. I'm just loving wrestling right now.
I see your point with Gargano. I just see. I'm going to take it a different angle.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I mean, I'm not going to disagree. You know, there has to be a fine line between respecting your opponent, but then also chasing that title. Look, you and I can have all the utmost respect for each other, and I can acknowledge that verbally. But if you have something around your waist that I'm trying to go after, I'm sorry. You know, all bets are out the window. And as long as Gargano has known Ciampa and all the wars that they've had at NXT, battling for the championship title back and forward, I'm thinking that Gargano is going to be manipulated and turn to Ciampa's side, because let's not forget that his wife Candice LeRae, she's actually a heel.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Nobody like, right? So usually sometimes they keep the pairs together in that same aspect. Right now, them two are not in that same boat. That's why you don't see them together, right?
Mm-hmm.
On SmackDown. But I'm thinking Gargano is going to eventually start seeing things the way Ciampa's actually seeing it, which you're right. And then he's going to flip the script, and we're going to see that bad Gargano all over again, which I want to see that. That's going to bring that fire, because if you separate them, then who's going after the Motor City Machine Guns for that tag team titles? It ain't the Bloodline. They got their own issues. So we ain't got no other tag team that could really challenge them. I know the
It's
Street
not the
Profits going
Street
at,
Profits.
yeah, the Street Profits, but to me that just doesn't fit right.
Well, ain't the Street Profits the number one contenders
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to win those titles.
now? And then will we have an episode with them two separating?
Well,
We've
I've
been
been
trying
trying to
that shit for
We've
years.
been
for
we've
years.
been talking about that for about a year now, and that
Yeah,
hasn't
it
happened.
never happened.
But Montez Ford has been very vocal on social media. He's sick and tired of the Street Profits not going anywhere. But maybe he needs to look at a different angle within themselves and be like, Andre, what's his name? Ain't your man, bro. He's
Yeah.
not your dude. You're gonna have to go solo. And he did flirt a little bit going solo, and he did a wonderful job. Um, and that leads me to my next one before we end this show. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. But I did tell you that Cody Rhodes doesn't have an opponent, but could he have an opponent with Kevin Owens? That could be a possibility leading
Again,
into Survivor Series.
again.
Yeah, but they were friends. This time they're not friends. That
I
makes a
mean,
big difference.
something to keep Cody occupied until they decided to make him drop that title. I could see that.
Mhm.
Randy is at that point right now, dude. I think he needs to seriously consider retirement. He's had so much surgeries, he's had so much issues, and he's also, I'm not trying to be funny about it, he's also, even admitted, he's gained a lot of weight. Randy Orton's never been 300 pounds in his life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
And he's came out and publicly announced that he's done a deal with Nutella, and he's been eating that product because he's had a deal with them, and he's gained all that weight to push him at the 300-pound, almost the 290 mark. Yeah, that's why he's so thick like that. So Randy Orton to me is not in that ring shape anymore. I think he's downhill from here. I'm just
Hey, he's about our age. Well, I think he's my age.
yeah, he's your age. Yeah,
Yeah, he's your
I think
age.
he's 47, right?
yeah, he's your age. Yeah, he's still
Yeah.
young,
I
but in
know
the
John
ring,
Cena's my age.
yeah, but ring wise, he's old.
Well, there's comes a time when the body is going to tell you it's
Yeah,
time to
and I
hang
think
it up and do on something else, right?
yeah, keep on
Yeah.
eating that Nutella. Eat that. Choco nut or
Frank,
whatever.
Hector, I want to appreciate you, your time on the show. Please stand by real quick. And you heard it, man. But the real story here is about Gunther, right? That is our takeaway for today. Is that people often feel discouraged after a loss because losses challenge their sense of competence, self-worth, and the effort they put into something important. Like Gunther, his importance is to become the world champion and the only champion. But when you work hard towards a goal, whether it's in sports, a professional setting, or in your personal life, a loss can feel like all that effort was in vain, leading to feelings of disappointment and frustration. Losses can stir up a self doubt, making people question their abilities or decisions, especially if they don't yet have a strong coping strategy for a setback. Moreover, a loss can create feelings of vulnerability, and it often brings to light things that went wrong or could have done better. Facing those realities can be emotionally challenged, especially if people are invested in the outcome. However, while discouragement is natural, many people learn to reframe their losses as a growth of opportunities, taking the chance to analyze, adapt, and come back stronger. That wraps up the HHW Show podcast. You could visit our website at hhwshow.com, or you can follow us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, and you can follow me on Twitter at OV_HHW Show. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back next week getting ready for the road to the Survivor Series. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. God loves some wrestling.